Alright, Trial Mob, a few more updates for today. I know that lately the updates have been a little bit dry, but I am sure we're going to be getting a lot more news. And of course, I need to drop a few more community custom videos. Trust me, I got a fair amount of stuff coming up. But with that said, we're going to be covering a little bit more about the Space Marines, which are looking great. And then Fresh Retro jumping in at an incredible value. I am absolutely shocked with what I heard and what I found. So let me go ahead and share that with you so we can go ahead and get those pre-orders rolling. All right, you guys, let's get it. All right, Trial Mob, so starting off everything, we are getting a full kit view of what the actual Space Marines are going to look like that we're going to be getting from Joy Toy. And as you can tell, just like anything else, they come with a bunch of stuff. Now, there's a little bit more modularity here, and I really appreciate that. So as you can tell, we got 2 guns, 3 other hands, a jetpack, and then 3 pouch configurations. Or I believe I want to say it might end up being 2, because I want to say that both of these can be on at the same time, but maybe it could just be 1. But as you can tell, we get the pistol inside the actual holster, the holster without the gun inside, which is a nice touch. And then the 2 hands that we get, as you can tell, they look like they're supposed to be holding knives, but not all of these come equipped with knives, so that's kind of an interesting concept right there. And of course, the gun that's supposed to hold the barrel of the bolter rifle, so that's really badass. Now, as you can tell, this loadout basically just repeats itself right here. If you're wondering if this is the exact same figure, it's not. If you look at the last one on the chest, it had grenades. This one does not. Though I'm wondering if this is the same one, is that another configuration? But still, again, a fair amount of modularity. Now, as you can tell in this figure right here, we have the exact same setup as before, a slightly different backpack. But as you can tell on the bottom, or should I say the bottom center, there is a piece. Now, I'm not quite sure what that is, but I'm almost 100% convinced that it most likely goes onto the forearm where he has that computer on him. So that is something that is cool. I imagine it's him with it flipped open. It could be something else, but I can't really tell from the view what exactly that piece is. But again, that's the only real change. Now, the only thing that I haven't seen in these photos yet, since they all basically come the same way equipped, is the fact that I haven't seen whether or not they ended up going through with the bolter pistol magazine being able to be, or not the bolter pistol, but the bolter gun magazine being able to be taken out. As you can tell, it looks like it potentially could, and I'm telling you that would be an absolutely nice touch if it can. If it can, it's not a deal breaker, but again, it would be a good piece to add to just the many different things that you can do with these figures. Now here we start to get into more of what I like. So these come a little bit more well equipped, I would say. So basically the same setup as before, but the only difference here is that the backpacks on these guys seem to have these little red square, those blue squares. I think they are probably for, I don't know, highlighting enemies on the field and different HQ and objective areas. So that is something that is really cool. And then of course we get the sheath for the 2 knives, and both knives come out. And so this is where I'm saying, right, he comes with 2 other hands that seem to be able to hold knives, and in this situation that makes total sense because he actually comes with knives. So the other ones, I'm not saying that they shouldn't have it, I'm just saying they don't necessarily make sense to have those kinds of hands. If the other guys aren't going to come with any kind of knives, then there's no point in giving them those kinds of hands. Maybe give them other objective style hands, like maybe pointing, maybe, you know, the 2 fingers in the shooting position, you know, maybe something a little different. But, you know, I'm not going to complain. These are really badass figures. Here on the top right, we see what looks like a satchel charge, maybe anti-tank grenade style. And I think that that is obviously really badass. We've seen this guy holding that before. So again, very cool. And then the bolter rifle does look a little different on these guys. So again, there are some modularity to these figures, and it's really nice to see that, you know, just how much is going to come with these guys. Because remember, these is big blocky pieces. Now this one right here looks a little bit more regular, just everything that we've seen before. All the pieces, all the extra guns, so good. I don't want to say that it's good repetition, because it would be nice to see a little bit more modularity, but I do believe that when you look at the figures in package, or should I say the miniatures, they really do just come with what you see here. They already have most of these options available to them in the miniature version. Now here for the last guy, we do get exactly what we've already seen. So again, nothing bad. I really like these guys. I like the way that they come equipped. I like how big they look. I like how bulky they are. I like the fair amount of modularity that we get here, the multiple weapons, the multiple ways that we can pose these guys. I am hoping that in the future, as we get other chapters released, if we ever get other chapters released, that we do get, you know, chapter specific weaponry, you know, axes, knives, you know, other kinds of weapons. So this is a great base body, and again, I love how much comes on these guys. and the different poses that you can have them take, obviously. So, you know, these are going to be nice, bulky characters and bulky boxes that are going to come with plenty for you to enjoy. Now switching over to Fresh Retro, here they're calling it Mecha Project MPO1 Brave 13, but here's the reality, right? We've been calling them Fresh Retro, so that's what I'm going to keep going by. So they are currently up on Big Bad Toy Store for order, which I was not aware that we were going to have that as an option. So as soon as I saw it, I caught me a few. So I'm really excited about these. I cannot wait to have them in hand. They are badass. And the price point, guys, let me go ahead and show you. So for the smaller of the two figures that we are going to be getting, they only come at $29.99. That is an absolute steal. These guys come with multiple guns. From my understanding, it comes with a base that's magnetic for you to put onto these guys. I mean, each one of these comes packed with stuff, and it's cheaper than anything Acid Rain or Joy Toy are putting out right now, for the exception of maybe the Shadow of Asmite. But other than that, this is a steal of a price. Estimated time of arrival is going to be October 2021, so in about another month. These are going to come out quick, and I have a feeling they're going to sell out quick, especially once people like myself and Skelly and so on start putting out some reviews, because these are going to be some of the favorites of the year for sure. Also, we are going to be getting the MPO2, so this is going to be the larger, bulkier figure, and you've seen the size difference. These guys are definitely a bit taller and a bit bulkier, and as you can tell, they definitely come with multiple guns. And on top of that, they're going to come also with those bases that we talked about, the magnetic bases, the magnetic feet. Again, these guys are chock filled with stuff. Again, this is all in Big Bad Toy Store, and let me show you the price. $34.99. I cannot even begin to believe this price point. So these, if you're able to get them all together, it's about $4 in shipping, because that's how Big Bad Toy Store is able to do its bulk shipping orders together. Maybe it's $4 more depending on how big it is, but the fact that you're basically paying between $35 and $40 for these figures, and that includes shipping, I don't see any reason why you shouldn't run out right now and army build a good 3 or 4 of these each, because that pricing is really good, and I get the feeling it's only going to go higher by the time we end up seeing these come out later, when they come out with wave 2 and wave 3, because I think this is going to be very popular in the 118th community, as I mentioned, especially after the reviews, after people get their hands on them. That'll be very, very nice. But I'm hoping that that doesn't mean that there is a skimping of quality here. Acid Rain is really good, and so is Joy Toy, so I'm hoping that these follow the same rubric. And then on top of that, if you guys have used Pia Club before, which most of the Acid Rain stuff that you've seen me review has basically been from Pia Club, I stand behind them. They do great shipping out of, I believe it's straight from China, and they do a really good job of getting it over here in a timely fashion. I've ordered before from Big Bad Toy Store and Pia Club at the same time, and I've gotten my Pia Club stuff sooner. Can you believe that? But yes, both of these are also, the MPO1 and the MPO2 are also on Pia Club for about the same price. The only thing that you're going to have to worry about here is that the pricing is going to be a little bit tighter. And what I mean about pricing being a little tighter, I don't actually mean that it's going to be less. I believe they're about the same price point. There might be $1 or $2 of difference the last time I checked. But the problem with Pia Club is that because it's such far shipping, it's going to end up being about $10 difference. And actually, they charge you $10 per figure. So you're going to be paying about $15 more if you go through Pia Club than you do Big Bad Toy Store. But I promise you that Pia Club will most likely have them in hand before Big Bad Toy Store. So if you don't want to wait, do the Pia Club route. If you're willing to wait, well, you know, if you'd be able to buy basically one more full figure. If you buy, I believe, if you're going to buy, let's say 4 of them total, you'll basically be getting one of them for free. If you decide to go the Big Bad Toy Store route, then you do the Pia Club route. Regardless, the price points are hard to beat, considering that they beat everything else that Acid Rain makes and some of Joy Toy.